to the 9/11 War Room, a weekly roundtable discussion that takes place every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Tune in at 911warroom.com.
Welcome to the 9/11 War Room. My name is Gene.
My name is Sandra. Today is Sunday, August the 9th, and we've got episode 247.
Let's get in there. All right, starting off with corporate level news. We got about 4 or 5 stories, I think. Digital learning experience helps new generation understand 9/11 25 years later. Senior Vice President for Education and Public Programs at the 9/11 Memorial and Museum, Noah Rausch, joins mornings at 10 to explain more. And I'm just going to play a little clip of what he's talking about here.
Tell me about the digital experience.
So we have a whole set of programs for visitors who are coming to the museum and aren't able to come to the museum. On the anniversary in particular, we offer what's called the Anniversary Digital Learning Experience, which we've been offering for about 10 years. And it has 2 parts. The first part is a film that we create new every year that highlights the stories of individuals who were impacted by the attacks.
Okay.
And then we have a second part that has a live chat where students around the world can ask our museum staff questions in real time. So the film is about 30 minutes, so it fits inside of a class period. It's available on demand.
Smart.
It's completely free. And we're having just really, really meaningful conversations. And the goal of this program is to not just help students understand what happened, but who it happened to.
Yeah. What an emotional chapter.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sure
That
they're
we
going to
went through
explain
25
everything of
years
what
ago,
happened
and
that
it's
day.
I'm thinking about my little ones.
Probably
9
not. It was followed up by another story by the vice president. It says here, to help ensure the lessons of that day are never forgotten, the 9/11 Memorial and Museum is launching the digital learning experience designed for classrooms around the world. Megan Jones, vice president of education programs at the 9/11 Memorial and Museum. So both the senior vice president and the vice president out there hitting the circuit as far as this new digital learning experience for all the new kids to learn what rightfully happened that day, meaning the official 9/11 narrative.
Feeding the propaganda.
Yes. Next news story. This young lady, Piersall, 27, works to preserve the story at 9/11 at the Library of Congress. It says this is Olivia Piersall, serving as junior fellow at the Serial and Government Publications Division at the Library of Congress, where she is processing the library's 9/11 newspaper collection. The archive documents global newspaper coverage of the September 11th attacks, preserving how communities around the world understood and responded to the events that day. In her role, Piersall is helping to make the collection more accessible to the researchers by processing materials, preparing a digital landing page, and curating an in-house display commemorating the 25th anniversary of 9/11. So she's getting all the newspapers, collecting them, and putting them in order and making a web page for it at the Library of Congress. So that's noble. Good job there. On the propaganda front, The Atlantic, which is not a friend of the 9/11 Truth Movement, writes an article this past week, What Happened to al-Qaeda? 25 years after 9/11, analysts can't decide if the terrorist organization is all but defunct or more threatening than ever. I'm sure they're going with the more threatening than ever. And it was behind a paywall, and I didn't bother reading it, but I will put the link in the show notes if anybody wants to read that propaganda piece. That might be of interest to Joshua Schoenfeld if he's here. Poor Barbara. Next news story. Why America Failed to Stop the 9/11 Terrorist Attacks by Newsweek. They're going to go through and create this history review of what happened that day.
Wait, you can take a guess.
Yeah, you can take the guess. And I did get through the remove paywall on this one and got to the end. Let's go to the end and see what the answer is. The answer is, according to them, the CIA, the FBI, and the rest of the intelligence community just failed to do their jobs. The White House failed to focus and heed the signs. The FAA failed to issue sufficient warning, and dozens of airline and security employees failed to do their jobs on the morning of September 11th when 19 men, some with questionable documentation, and at least one who couldn't even speak enough English to answer security questions, boarded airplanes and turned that sunny Tuesday into one of America's darkest days. That's what Newsweek come to the conclusion. And yes, more propaganda. But we are turning the tide and things are changing, so hold on when we get to that. Also, in corporate level news, a Pentagon engineer plans reunion to mark 25 years since 9/11. This is John Trujillo. I'm terrible at this. Trujillo. I think that's it. I'm going to allow her to explain it. It's about less than a minute. Here we go.
Engineer John Trujillo was at the Pentagon on 9/11 and had to evacuate. He says he and his colleagues there were like family. The day after 9/11, they went right back to work because they had to get communications back online and start assessing the damage. Trujillo says they would often start their day at 5:30 in the morning, and they became extremely close as they worked on the renovations, which had been going on even before 9/11. Now, after the work was all done, many folks moved on to other jobs and spread out around the country. It's why Trujillo is now planning a 3-day reunion event this September 11th to pay tribute to everyone who was impacted.
We knew we had to get things working to take care of our country. Most people don't know about us. So what I'm trying to make sure is that our story is going to be told still, and that I bring back the people that were working there so we can remember what we did and what we went through.
And John says he had...
Yeah, I don't know if anybody noticed there who was in the picture with them. That was Donald Rumsfeld, showing him a certificate there. Yeah, let's roll. And earlier, I don't know if you heard what he said in that was that he was part of the renovation before and after 9/11. So he evidently had something to do with the Wedge 1 renovation. So he might be a person of interest if we ever get people subpoenaed.
Interesting.
Whoops, sorry.
Interesting that he might be the one who would want to have a 25-year reunion and bring back everyone in the same spot in the scene of the crime.
Yeah. Isn't that our saying about that? Criminals go back to the scene of the crime.
Oh, you're right about that.
Yes.
I wonder if he's related to the Metallica bassist, Robert Trujillo.
Oh, that'd be wild.
Trujillo.
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 Thank you.
Wow, my Spanish is bad.
Next news story, we're going down to 9/11 Truth Movement level news right after the War Room. Last week, the episode 6 crime scene to courtroom was premiered. If you didn't get a chance to see it, you can go to 911c2c.org or richardgage911.org or lawyers, FOR 911.org. But it's just easy to remember 911c2c.org. It was really good. I appreciated it. It was probably the best one yet. And even the Q&A went on for a good while.
An hour.
Over an hour, yeah. Richard, I don't know if you have anything else you want to add to that?
The subject, of course, was the destruction of evidence and the investigation by FEMA and NIST. It didn't go into great detail in that investigation because we had touched on that during the first few episodes. But then the evidence of foreknowledge, and then some concluding remarks from conclusions, if you will, from experts. So I'm glad you felt that it was good. I'm wondering also if anybody else saw it and had any feedback for us. We greatly appreciate any feedback, constructive feedback, that is, good or bad. Is this the time for any of that, Gene?
Sure.
Could I, as the Lawyers Committee joint partner, I'd like to make a comment?
Go right on ahead, Barb.
Go criticize your own product.
No, I won't. Don't worry. I would like to encourage anyone who has seen it, or if you haven't, when you do see it, at c2c911.org or lclawyers911.org or Richard Gage 911.org, all three places you can see the video of the entire event, comments, Q's and A's afterwards, etc. We would appreciate any donations to the film project and or the Lawyers Committee that you can manage. Because we really need the funds to move forward. We're halfway through. We just finished episode 6 and there will be approximately 12 episodes. So please help us out. Thank you.
Right on, Barb.
As we marked right into the evidence of extreme heat in season 2, this was the finale of season 1. Season 2 begins with the evidence of molten iron iron microspheres and the evidence of nanothermite. We have several experts, many of whom you know about. And so that becomes season 2, and then season 3 we roll into the Twin Towers and their explosive destruction.
Yes. And also, if everybody, this is your homework, it's my homework too. Now that this came out, as you watch it, if you have some comments or support, please go to IMDb, log in, and leave a rating. That will help them out dramatically in getting up in the levels needed at IMDb to help do other things. So please do that.
Thank you guys for doing that. You can rate each episode, which would be very helpful because it only takes a couple of debunkers to drop our rating from 10 to 9 right now. And it only takes a few of us to overcome that. So please do your part, if you will. If you like this series and appreciate it, give it an honest rating. We're down to 9.3. We were up above that before. But there's only 13 ratings.
That's our homework. All right. We'll send that out in an email, too, to help remind everybody. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Barb. Sue, you got a comment or question?
Yep. Just wanted to reiterate what Barbara said. As those who have seen any of the episodes 1 through 6, you can see it's a very professional project. And anyone who's into filmmaking professionally knows that this is quite expensive. I'm not going to say how expensive because the numbers keep climbing, but it's very expensive. So yes, please help bring this to the finish line by donating whatever you can.
Right on.
And I'd like to add, if I could, just to remind everybody that this isn't just a film series. It's going to be reformatted when we're done with all 12 episodes. And the reformatted film will be submitted as a formal legal filings submission to the U.S. Attorney in Manhattan as a formal official supplement to the World Trade Center 1, 2, and 7 grand jury petition. So we're going to be filing this with the court when we're done with the series. So anything you can help us to do, if everybody went to IMDb and everybody donated something who's on this call, we'd probably be up to a 10.0 again on IMDb. So please just do it. We appreciate it.
I know.
And I have just completed the application for Film Hub, which is they have a lot of very stringent requirements that our editor is working in upgrading the actual codec and compression ratings and closed captioning, everything that's required to be on film, on Netflix and on Amazon Prime and all the other streaming platforms. This is a really big deal that takes a lot of time at the wrong time when we're trying to plan a conference and complete episode 6 of 9/11 Crime Scene to Courtroom. So that's just supplementary information for you guys about how much work this is and that we have the chance of getting this to millions beyond just, what I can reach by interviews myself.
Thanks, sir. I do want to add to that too. Barbara mentioned about the current 60 exhibits that they have on their website, which I created a shortcut. If anybody ever wants to see that, just go to 911lawyers.org/evidence, and it'll take you right to this page where they list individual exhibits, and you can click on, and then it gets down to the video evidence. There's actually 60 items here because there's subparts. It totals about 60, and this film series would be a supplement to that, as she said, to give to the attorney in the Southern District of New York. So rock on, guys. Thank you. All right, next news story. Oh, I'll save that for the end. I asked a question. The question that we always get from people is, well, when are you guys going to start naming names that we can take them to court? And Mick answered that really well. and I'll share that.
Well, yeah, the whole point of that was that Gina and I were in the background kind of fielding the questions for Gail. And, we come up with a couple of questions of our own just in case, there's not enough questions to draw from, which never ends up being the case. But Gina always tries to formulate a question on behalf of, a group of people who keep asking those. So he becomes like the voice for that. And that's the question that he asked there, but he'll play it at the end.
Yeah. And what Richard alluded to, getting through this crime scene to courtroom episode while also planning the Turning the Tide event is very time consuming, and it's shaping up really well. A couple people that are starting to advertise on their own that are going to be speakers are there. Will be Brett Weinstein. This is his X account. He's advertising it. He's gotten 10,000 views, 39,000 views. Come up to these ones, 152,000 views. And 13,000 views, and he's repeatedly posting it. So that's hats off to Brett Weinstein. Sorry.
Well, he calls himself Weinstein.
Oh, Weinstein. Okay, thank you. And then we have Chris Martenson. Dr. Chris Martenson did a pretty thorough analysis on the Charlie Kirk investigation and other things. Okay. And then, so he's also posting it. He got about, what do we have here? 39,000 views on his. So fantastic. What's that?
Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then just to show the list of speakers, if you go to the website, turningthetide911.org, you'll get the list of current speakers that we have lined up. Others are being confirmed. We have a couple more to go.
Update that like almost every other day.
Yes. But if you go...
Willie Rodriguez has said yes. He's coming.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
We can, that one we can confirm.
William Rodriguez, yes.
Willie Rodriguez, who doesn't know, people are going to be so excited to know that he's going to be there.
Yep. Was in the basement when an explosion happened before the plane struck the tower, and I think that's just essential. So the list here of who's speaking on what days so far is available at the bottom of the page if you want to check that out. Tickets are on sale. You just check it out.
That needs to be updated a bit as well.
Mm-hmm.
And also we had singled out the Saturday for a little while because it's the big days, the one that has some of the biggest names and stuff. And so we didn't want to have Saturday sales block out, the people who wanted the 4-day passes, because then it makes them not available anymore. So we held off on making the Saturday available for a while, but you can buy a Saturday only pass now. If that's the only day you can or want to attend, then that's on Eventbrite right now too.
All right. Richard, anybody else anything to add to that before I go to the hands?
Well, I'd like to add something, Barb.
Go ahead.
I think it's really important. We've realized, because it's 4 days in an extremely expensive city, that we need to focus on trying to get people from the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut down to Boston, basically the Upper East Coast, to physically come. So we're not putting out that people can buy tickets at the door, because then local people, we need local people, relatively local people, to buy tickets as soon as possible, because we just need that. Okay. We need it very badly. And so the request is for anyone who has the passwords or whatever for either the website or mass emails from your organizations, please ask Richard or myself or Dean or Sandra for the latest about 3-minute promo video for the conference, and please put that out and ask to as many people as possible, emphasizing that we want people, we're targeting people now from the larger New York, New Jersey area. And so if you can help us do that, if you're, an officer of an organization or has the passwords or your mass emails or your websites, please help us out by emphasizing that, and ask for our latest conference promo video.
Thank you, Barb. It's 5:20. Before I go to the hands, we're just going to say a quick prayer. It's that time every day, 5:20 p.m. when Building 7 fell. I use it as an opportunity to say a quick prayer for 9/11 justice. So if you guys would just take a moment with me. Lord, just come to you. Thank you so much for this day. Thank you for all these this event coming up and the planning and everyone involved in it and everyone doing what they can in whatever venue, whoever they're talking to. I just ask you would protect us, guide us, give us the strength and the courage to keep doing this after so many years. And we're just looking to get justice in our lifetime, but we ultimately know it's in your control. We lay it at your feet in your name. Amen. Thank you, everybody. To the hands, Carl.
Yes, Gene, I both emailed you and put in chat an image. If you could bring that up on the shared screen.
Sure, let's get there. Let's see. Should have had my chat screen ready. Usually pretty quick at this. Hang on a second. There it is. Share screen. Hopefully you guys can see it. Is it a black square box or you guys? Yeah.
Mhm.
Wait, no, you're not.
Not seeing anything.
I'm still seeing Turning the Tide.
Hang on, I gotta download it. I don't know why it gives me this problem with you, Carl.
Well, it's in your. I sent it to you by email as well. I can send it to you by.
Yeah, I got it. I just have to download it. Where did it go?
Isn't technology groovy?
I know. There it is. Let's open it. Come on. Right clicking. Open. There we go.
Yeah, it's not even a video.
There we go. Gotcha.
Okay. What prompted me to put this in the chat and send it to you, Gene, is when Richard referenced destruction of all the evidence. And I was reminded that my work schedule at Fresh Kills Landfill, as with all my colleagues, one page of which is depicted here, it refers to our assignment as evidence detail. And I'm also reminded that when somebody needs to be muted in the background there. I heard the voice. Okay. When Senator Johnson went on James Corbett's podcast, September of 25, he mentioned having complete jurisdiction over federal records. And I mentioned this both for the crime scene to courtroom episodes, but also for the report to Johnson, as Johnson's committee already has. I pointed them to the extensive records that exist of our evidence detail, and presuming that those things we extracted off the conveyor belts, off the sifting machinery at Fresh Kills Landfill and put into buckets that somebody else took away, those contents were analyzed, as evidence. Apparently, our assignment was termed an evidence detail. So that seems, Richard, something very important to be included in the report, to point them to an actual source of records regarding Building 7.
Very good. Thank you, Carl.
Thank you.
Diana Castillo. Buenos dias.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
So I had an idea for marketing to New York people. So I joined a bunch of New York Facebook groups. There's a whole bunch, what to do for in New York, single girls in New York, all kinds of New York Facebook groups. And I started adding some information about, some of them got approved to advertise our conference. So I would encourage other people to do the same. I'm not the only one.
That's a double-edged sword. Like, on the one hand, I'm like, yeah, this is great. We need someone to do that kind of legwork. On the other hand, I worry a little bit that it's going to attract, it's going to trigger some people, and it's going to attract people and want to, I don't know, want the.
Yeah, but I mean, that's advertising. You have to
I know. No, it's overall. No, overall, I'd rather it be done than not done. We've been focusing on trying to get the word out through, local podcasts, but they're all like in the group of people who are already like on that page a little bit, so that's, but no.
But we don't want to only be preaching to the choir. No. We want people who don't know about it.
No, you're right. And what's a security guard or two if we have to hire them?
Yeah, and Barbara says they'll delete my account. I They don't seem to mind Facebook talking about this conference.
Yeah. Any reactions? Like, are you posting it directly or?
I haven't done it a lot, but some people just, they click love. I don't know. No comments. So
no, it's great. It's great that you're doing that, Diana. It's
yeah, but I would say if other people have time to do it too, it's a good idea.
Yep.
Diana, do you have the latest conference promo video that Ellie updated recently?
Can you send it to me?
I will immediately.
Jetty from Scotland.
Yeah, I was going to make a point about
just
am I
real
coming
quick,
through, yeah.
Jerry, just for anybody that's using two headphones, we're only hearing Jerry out of the left. So if you don't hear him talking,
try the other one.
Try the other one. You're good, Jerry.
The other one in.
Go ahead.
Sorry about that.
You're good.
To Richard's point about the workload coinciding between the crime scene and courtroom, which I thought was good, and I thought they handled the questions very well. There was a right mix of people there. But to the point about the workload, and it's sort of not been the right time, I think it's exactly the right time. Because crime scene to courtroom, if you look at that and try it, it's difficult to do, but if you put yourself back in the position as somebody who's relatively new to 9/11 and then go and watch something like crime scene to courtroom, that's exactly what it's like. It's tailor-made for it. And hopefully, I mean, I can envisage on your conference, right, that you're going to get an awful lot of people passing through because of all of the different names you've got, Roger Waters, Corbett, etc. All of these names. It might be worth considering having some sort of ticker tape with a crowdfunder for donations to be raised with a total there, because people will be, I think that if you catch people there and then and it's on the screen and they're watching it live, then I think that might be worth considering. Obviously you don't want to do it if you're going to end up with $4 at the end of 4 days, because it's just it's a redneck, but it might be worth considering that, if you're running the video, because people will be, if you get 100 people that are each going to give $10, then do you know what I mean? You're casting the net a bit wider that way. But I think crime scene to courtroom could be coming at exactly the right time for people who are relatively new to the information.
Thank you.
Gene, I wanted to ask you I missed something about what Jerry said. I'm wondering if you could say that differently.
On which part?
The ticker tape.
He basically saying during the programming, either between, what I'm gathering you said, Jerry, is that in between each speaker, if somebody's taking the stage, have something come up on the screen, maybe a QR code to donate to either Turning the Tide or Crime Scene to Courtroom.
Well, we'll certainly do that on the live stream feed.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't want to do it to the theater. But maybe once in a while, those people paid, money to get in. To the theater. We don't want to hassle them with donations.
Yep.
But we'll let them know.
Offering plate. Pass the offering plate in the middle of the presentations.
Yeah, but good idea. Thanks, Jerry.
Yeah. I was meaning to have it on the live stream for people who haven't already paid, who are basically getting it for nothing, because you're going to get people who, right, they don't particularly care about 9/11 truth, but they love Pink Floyd. It's a really, really good opportunity to grab at people that normally the net wouldn't reach. No pun intended.
Yep.
Very good.
Good point. Thanks, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry. Ellie, the producer of the latest promo video.
Thanks, guys. A few items. Number one is how are we doing in terms of getting the big names? Or well, we did get Brett Weinstein, but what about getting Jimmy Dore and Roger Waters to do promo videos or to promote this event on their social media?
Yeah. So I just shared the one Chris Martinson sharing it's on his social media, and Brett Weinstein. They did. Right. I think I can say that they're starting to record their own little monologues for the event, and we're compiling those right now. think we have about 8 of them.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that Ellie's in the loop because Ellie's in constant contact with Richard, and Richard would keep him updated on who's
Yeah,
responded so far on the videos. So, what
I'm just
specifically is your
calling out.
question?
Yeah, I'm just calling out particularly because there's only 2 people in this event that would actually have that are actually entertainers who would draw a huge audience, and that's Jimmy Dore and Roger Waters. And so I feel like if we're gonna get over the hump, those two need to put out videos as quickly as possible because people will pay money just to see them by themselves, right? So I'm not sure who's maybe that's up to Ted or someone else, but I think
But
all this
are they
balance,
done?
that's right. Sorry?
Are you saying they're wrapped up already? They're done?
No, I don't know. I don't have any insight to that. I don't know if Richard
Okay.
does either in my conversation with him, but I think a lot of effort should be put into getting Roger Waters and Jimmy Dore to get on top of this.
Yeah, Jimmy Dore is working on it. I don't know if Ted has succeeded in getting Roger Waters to make a video for the conference specifically. That's on him. Ted has offered to do that. I don't know how successful he's been so far.
Okay, that's fine. We can move on from that. Second item was one thing that I'm exploring is I'm using a tool. So there's analytics tools you can use for your social media, especially for like X or Twitter, to be able to analyze your following and find out who's get more detailed analytics about your following, because X itself its analytics are pretty weak. And so I've used a tool called Circle. I recently downloaded a tool called Circle Boom, and it allows me to basically do advanced searches of all my following. So I can actually go in and search and find out all of the followers that are in New York City, for example, or at least based on their profile data. And then that can allow me to then reach out to them individually. I can also search by their following count. So now I can find out who are all the influencers that are in New York City that follow Richard, and then reach out to them individually. And it's already brought on a lot more interest. Already generated a bunch of interviews just based on using this tool to find out who's on the follower list. So I think that's I think it's a very useful idea to use your existing follower base that may not even be aware of this event because of all the shadow banning or because people are too busy to go check their social media. So I wanted to add that as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, and then the third thing was, I just wanted to ask, did we get any more updates from AE 9/11 Truth or Xander about whether they will be making an announcement?
If they will be basically supporting our conference?
Well, making an announcement to their email list about this conference, especially since Xander is going to be part of the conference.
We haven't heard anything back at all. I think Craig last week said he would speak to them about it.
No, Craig got good news from Xander. Xander had promised to do that. I don't think it's been done yet. Probably takes some more effort. I mean, the people at AE 9/11 Truth have problems with both Craig and his conference and us and ours only because of Craig and me personally. But Xander has no problems with either of us personally. So we've asked him to push us, and he said he would. I think what we need to do is send Xander, I need to call him, and I will, and I'll send him a package of stuff like the promo video, etc.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, and I mean I love this because what Ellie is doing and what you're doing is kind of like really tedious, and reaching out to individual people one by one, and it's hit or miss, and you just hope that one of them's gonna land somewhere where it's gonna make a difference, right? And what Diana is doing, posting to individual New York groups, that's another way, and we're all just gonna keep picking at it and each from our own angle get the word out. There's nothing that shouldn't be explored.
Yeah, I mean, for example, using this analytics tool I discovered that we are being followed by Buckley Carlson, Tucker's brother.
Yep.
We're
We
also
heard.
being followed. Yeah, so you did hear about that. We're also being, there's a bunch of other big names that we're being followed by that we would not have been able to find unless we had this analytics tool, and it's allowed us to reach out to them and generate more interest. So I think that's part of the challenge is find out who is even part of this movement that's not aware of this event, and getting them involved and getting them and also generating more interviews out of that process as well. So but let's keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Ellie, could you say that analytics tool name real slowly?
It's called Circle Boom. I already downloaded it. So the word circle and the word boom, one word.
B-O-O-M.
Yeah, I already downloaded and I got a subscription. But anybody who has a significant following that wants to like analyze it, I think it's a great tool to use. And then you can find out who's really following you and find out who are the big names that are following you, because X is not going to give you that information.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I did want to add, there's going to be more and more promo videos coming out, hopefully soon by Roger and Jimmy. But we are also set to release tomorrow the promo video by the maker of the Lucky Larry video that I think everybody here knows. The tag name is Timeline Junkie. So we're working with him. We've gone over his new promo and it's going to be great. So that's going to be coming out, and we're really looking forward to this one.
Exciting.
If you guys haven't seen this video clip yet, it's called Lucky Larry and the Preposterous Plan. I'll put the link in the show notes. I played a little bit of it last week, and then his one he just released about 3 weeks ago, a parody on top of this of Larry becoming aware that this video is out there. So it's really funny, and we're working with Lucas, and he's creating a promo video for us that's just fantastic. You guys will love it. I wish I could share it, but no, tomorrow's the release date, so we'll just be patient. So
it's a virtue,
Yes, I know.
How will we get it tomorrow? Will you be sending it to everybody?
I believe, is it Jimmy Dore's going to be the one leading this?
I don't know if he's going to be leading it, but I mean, Ted's going to make it available to all of them and all of us, and it's going to be, ready, set, go.
Yeah.
You won't be able to miss it. Just make sure you share it far and wide when it comes.
Yeah.
I think it'll go viral.
Yeah.
Anything else, Ellie? Hearing nothing. Thank you. Let's go to Carl.
Yes, there was mention made of some of the podcaster types, Brett Weinstein and maybe James Corbett and Jimmy Dore, doing videos. Are these promo videos to circulate in advance of the conference? And are all three going to be live? Which ones are going to be live in person in New York, and which ones might be live by Zoom?
James is in Japan, so he'll be Zoomed. The others will be live. Everybody else.
They'll be in person. Corbett and or not Corbett, but Jimmy Dore and Brett Weinstein.
Sorry.
Weinstein.
Sorry about that.
Everybody else
in person.
Everybody else will be live.
Yeah.
And these promo
in person, or when you say live, do you mean live by Zoom?
Yes, in person.
Okay,
Physically.
thank you for clarifying.
Yeah.
In the flesh.
The only one confirmed via Zoom is James Corbett right now.
Thank you.
And just to show you, I don't think I'm doing anything wrong by sharing. I'm just going to show you the first 10, 15 seconds of the Brett Weinstein one. This is basically what each of the individual promo videos would look like. So here is Brett Weinstein, just the beginning of it. If I can get this, here we go.
Hey folks, Dr. Brett Weinstein here. I am an evolutionary biologist, co-author of A Hunter-Gatherer's Guide to the 21st Century, and co-host of the Dark Horse podcast. I wanted to alert you to a really cool upcoming event. It's happening September 10th through 13th in New York City, and it is a anniversary celebration retrospective on the attacks of 9/11. I'm going to be speaking on September 10th, which happens to be the 1-year anniversary of my friend
So
Charlie
it's something like
Kirk's.
that. And yeah, we have a bunch of them getting made up, and hopefully we'll get, like you said, Jimmy Dore and or Ellie had proposed getting Jimmy Dore and Roger Waters here get theirs in soon. Very good. Let's move on to hands. Dave Schlesinger.
Yes, can you hear me?
Aye, aye.
Yeah, two quick things. Jimmy Dore is appearing, doing a normal show for himself on Saturday night in New York City. And I didn't know which instrument that Roger Waters played. He's the drummer, but more importantly, he's the lyricist. But he's the bass player?
He was not the drummer for Pink Floyd. He was the bass guitarist.
Well, more importantly is that he's the lyricist.
Yes.
And the Pink Floyd, more than any group, the lyrics are incredible.
Oh, the best, my favorite group.
So it
yes.
might be good to mention that he was the lyricist at some point.
Absolutely. They're still in arguments. He just recently is doing a new project with a lady, I forgot her name, where they're reappropriating Comfortably Numb to, I believe, the Palestinian conflict. So very interesting. Keep an eye on that. Take a look at his social media accounts for following up on that. But yes, Roger Waters is a biggie. And somebody accused, hang on one sec, Barb. Somebody accused him of using us. And I laughed, thinking if anybody's using anybody, it's us using him. But no, in reality, we all stand on our own merit, and we're all doing this for ourselves. Roger's doing it for him. We're doing it for us, and we're all coming together. So nobody's using anybody. Anyway.
Free will.
Go ahead, Barb.
Yeah. Would you be willing to play the speaker promo video from Xander, which I consider the template for what it is? It's by far the best one so far.
Okay, first, I think you mean Ellie, because Xander's not doing promo videes.
Yeah, he did right there.
What?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, that's what you mean. His intro. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. I mean his speaker promo video.
Oh.
Does anybody object for that? It's about 2 minutes.
It's
right.
really the best. It's very strong, very articulate.
As he is.
Here we go.
As he is, yeah.
On Xander, which, what? Is that an objection?
Nope.
Okay. Just for anybody that doesn't know who Xander Arena is, he was a longtime volunteer for architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth. He was hugely part of the vetting process of everyone signing up on the page to get this 3,600 architects and engineers. And he's now back there, as brought back onto the board, and he is starting to get that system fixed so that AE's, one of their most valuable tools, is working again. So here's Xander.
Hi, I'm Xander Arena. I'm a board member of Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth. At Turning the Tide in New York this September, I'll be speaking about AE 9/11 Truth, 25 years from ground zero, the real progress we've made, and the concrete path forward. I'll share where the organization stands today, covering the petition that has already verified over 3,600 architects and engineers, and our ongoing call to verify thousands more. I'll also share the vast array of supporters standing with us: veterans, firefighters, doctors, welders, and many others, people from every walk of life who refuse to let the unanswered questions about the destruction of the World Trade Center skyscrapers fade away. That includes the growing interest we're seeing from people in positions that matter, including Senator Ron Johnson, and notable influencers who have finally found the courage to stand in truth. But the real reason to be there isn't just any single talk or personality. It's the room itself. 25 years later, this is one of the few places where serious researchers, first responders, family members, engineers, architects, and committed advocates will actually be together in the same space. Focused, concerted, determined. That kind of synergy doesn't happen on a screen. It happens when people who care about the evidence and the unfinished business of accountability and justice fill a hall and look each other in the eye. We're working to fill every seat at El Teatro. If you can be in New York, September 10th through the 13th, I hope you'll join us. and become part of the supporters in that room. Your presence helps create the energy and the critical mass this moment requires. Tickets are at turningthetide911.org.
Right on.
I'm looking forward to being in that room with you. Stand with us. Thank you, and see you there.
Right on, Xander.
Yeah, such a star.
He is. Good guy. Really good guy.
Yeah.
Thanks, Barb, for that prompt. And we'll go to the next hand. Mikey Perazzo.
You still have, you had Lucky Larry.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Long time no talk. Sorry about that.
All good.
I don't know if you remember, but I think it was around last winter or something, I mentioned to you I went to a guy's house
Yes.
in Potomac, Maryland, and I normally don't go to that area, but I opted to because I guess I just wanted the money or whatever. And we got to talking, and he told me he worked for Marsh McLennan or whatever. And he was like, oh, yeah, Howard Lutnick's one of my friends. We hang out all the time, yada, yada. Well, I was talking to him about 9/11 Truth while I was over there, and he also, I guess the word is obliged, he also said there was a lot of anomalies in there that he, was not in agreement with what they had, said with the narrative. I haven't heard from him in quite some time, but I thought with the 25th anniversary convention coming up that this might be for me, I could, tell him something about it. What should I say? Should I just send him the invite? Should I send him the Zoom call? I mean, if I was trying to hook somebody in, what should I say?
Yeah, it would be a very short worded invite with the address. Trying to think what might
Well,
appeal
it
to him.
depends on how you're in communication with him. Do you normally speak? Have you emailed each other? If it's by email, then you could mention, hey, it's been a while, but this just came to my attention, and I thought you might be interested in knowing that this is happening.
Yeah, you know what? I like that because I haven't really spoken to him since the time that I was over there.
Yeah.
So I'll probably just say, hey, could I get your email address? And then if he gives me the email address, I'll just text him it's come to my attention about yada yada, and then just give him the link to the thing and say, I mean, I hate to. I know what you said about we're using Roger Waters, but I have to say it's almost such a godsend that he is on board, because when you mention that, like, it starts like bringing people's eyes to it. Like, real quickly, I was at a customer's house the other day, working on some piece of equipment, and I just like to make small talk with people, and he told me he was an air traffic controller, and I'm like, oh, were you working around 9/11? And he was like, yeah, I watched. Yeah. So I'm sorry if I'm taking up too much time.
No, you're good. I love it. Go ahead.
This is about to turn into a good story. So he had said to me, I know this is going to be like a Molotov cocktail in a second, but he was like, I had watched the plane hit the Pentagon or whatever, and I said to him, are you sure it was a plane? I said, and then I told him, then he's like, oh yeah, I watched, 77 and this other plane and yada yada. And I said, well, I'm sure you know that they can change the tail numbers mid-flight. And then he looked at me and he gave me he didn't give me approval, but he gave me this weird look, like he knew what I was talking about, but he wouldn't actually fess up to it, if that makes sense, And then I was talking about I've kind of come to realize you start sounding like a crazy person if you start accusing all these things oh, it was Israel or this or that. Let's just Chris says, just stick to the facts, So I told him well, the facts are that a trained pilot could not have pulled off the 500-mile-an-hour corkscrew and this and that. I said to him that, and then what else did I say? I said that, it was kind of weird how they were doing a drill the same day as the 9/11 thing. And then he actually told me something that I didn't even realize. Who was that? The NORAD commander? I can't. Something Mars. He told me, right? You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I
Something
can't
No,
remember.
that was General Ralph Eberhard.
No, it was something Mars. He said. I can't remember his name, but it was.
No.
Well,
Not on
Gene, look it up.
9/11.
It might have been something. He might have been in charge of something else, but go ahead.
Anyway, that guy got killed on the Metro Red Line incident, like back in '02, which was like a year later after 9/11, which was some strange death or whatever. I can't remember the name of that guy, but he definitely was named Mars.
Well, Gene's just trying to look it up, and he's not finding an immediate hit. But
No.
I'm sure he's going to keep. I'm sure that Gene's going to keep on digging. He's just searching right now with the tools that he has.
Jim
Hey, could you repeat what that man did? The one that was killed in the red line.
He was some type of high general or something like that. But I don't. I'm fair. I have a photographic memory, and he definitely said last name was Mars, but I don't remember his first name. It might be General.
Jim Mars.
Could you please spell it?
Yeah, maybe Jim Mars.
No, Jim Mars is an author.
No, I don't know. It doesn't matter. But the bottom line was.
I know what you're talking about.
It was a strange death. It was like a year after 9/11. That guy or whoever his name was in charge of running the NORAD drill that was on the same day, and it was just really eye-opening.
I know who you're talking about now.
Go ahead, Barb. Go.
Thank you. You're talking about not the head of all of NORAD, which was General Ralph Eberhard in Colorado. You're talking about a very important person, and I believe central to the planning and execution of the actual attacks. And he was the head of NORAD for the Northeast sector in New York.
And his name?
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
have to
that
look
like
it up.
what?
But you
Okay,
don't know
anyway.
his name, Barb? Okay.
He was like pushed into a track. Is that what happened to him?
I couldn't
Gregory
hear Diana.
Gillot?
Was he
Guillot?
pushed into the train track? Is that what happened to him?
I can't hear Diana.
Did he get pushed into the train track?
Oh, I don't know. You'll have to.
No, he didn't get pushed. He didn't get pushed into the train track. So for those that are not from DC, I've lived here almost 30 years, and the metro is like equivalent to like the subway, except worse. And so what happens is, up until 2002, the trains were electronically controlled. Like it was all controlled electronically. Where they go, they stop. Basically, no engineer. Well, on that particular day, they were being electronically controlled in the red.
Whoops. We lost Mikey. Oh well, that was getting really into the weeds though, but
That's getting interesting. I want to hear.
hopefully he'll come back. We'll continue on. Till then, let's go to Bob. BOB, what's going on?
Yeah, just curious. Does anybody have any info on the Grand Lake event this year? What is it happening? What's up?
Yeah, I responded to you in the chat to say that the people who would know about it normally are not on this call today, and that's Carol and who's the guy who started joining the call? I forget his name, but anyways, two people from that event are normally on this call, and they're not
But
today.
it is
so.
happening. It is
Yeah,
happening.
no, it's happening, and I'm sure there's not much of an update from what you can find on the website anyway.
Yeah, if you want to see sf911truth.org, it's a Northern Alliance, California 9/11 Truth Alliance. They're doing their film festival in Oakland, and you can get all that information there. There it is, September 8th at the Grand Lake Theater from 3 to 10. And they're not doing streaming, as I understand. You have to be in person. So,
Gene.
Is that it, Bob?
But they are recording it, so they might put it out later.
That's cool. Appreciate the input. Thank you.
Hang on, Magnus. I got to go in order here. Jack, you're up.
Yes. Speaking of people named Mars, Jim Mars. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Jim Mars was a 9/11 truther, and he was starting to get pretty outrageous. And then he died suddenly. And he's got a lot of connections. I can explain if you want. But he died. But there were a lot of suspicious things about when he died.
Well, yes, he wrote really one of the first two books, Mike Rupert's Crossing the Rubicon and Jim Mars's book called Inside Job.
I met him.
Yeah, well, I knew him. I'm a co-author with him on his next books.
Wow.
Yeah.
But when he died, they immediately came out with a video saying, "Oh, he's terribly sick. He, barely could walk." But I saw a video of him the day before when he gave a speech, and then he's walking around the hotel, and he was spry. He was healthy and good. So why would they make a video saying that it was made by a young guy who supposedly was the last interviewer of Jim Mars? Why would they make a video saying that he could barely walk when he was quite spry right up until he died? That was very suspicious to me.
Yeah.
Jack, are you actually saying it's your understanding that Jim Mars died in a day or two of giving a speech on JFK in Dallas?
Oh yeah. I don't know what the speech was, but I saw him walking around the hotel afterwards. And then he died.
Yeah, but how much time between the two events?
Very little.
You're sure of that?
But
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
That should be
Jim Mars has been speaking out for ages, and
should be pretty easy to verify.
yeah, I mean, that it would come on the heels of one specific speech is hard to imagine, but
All right,
anyways.
Yeah, going down a rabbit hole there. Thank you, Jack. Before I go to you, Magnus, I did find out a little bit.
So did I.
A man killed in DC metro crash ordered jets above Capitol on 9/11. That was Major General David Worley Jr.
And what I want to add is that MARS is an abbreviation for Military Auxiliary Radio Systems within NORAD. So maybe he was working with that system, or he was the head of that system for orbital tracking. So
anyways,
maybe got the name confused with the system.
Oh, wait. I hate to do this to you, Magnet, but Mikey Perazzo's back. Is that all right if I let him finish his story? All right. Mikey, welcome back. If you want to finish that, people were getting pretty interested and you dropped there.
Actually texted the customer to ask him what
Oh,
the
you're
name
breaking up
of the
bad.
was, 'cause now
Start
it's
over, Mikey.
bothering me.
Hang
Can't
on,
hear you.
Yeah, you're breaking up really bad. We'll come back in a little bit. Let me go to Magnus first. Maybe you'll get to the next cell tower. Go ahead, Magnus.
All right. I didn't get the link. It didn't work, the film festival. So I'm wondering, is there any crimes in the courtroom episodes this year?
The question is, are there going to be any crime scene to courtroom episodes shown at the San Francisco Film Festival? Let's see. What do we have here? I see the back of the card.
They're going to show episode, I forget which episode, explosions at World Trade Center 7.
Oh,
Okay.
Great. That's great. Thank you for that clarification. I didn't know that.
They are going to be doing the responders breaking the silence, which we're also going to be showing that in New York City. Ford died trying. An examination of the four earth-shaking political murders of the 60s. And then the demolition of truth. Psychologists examine 9/11. It's the ending of Experts Speak Out, I imagine.
That's Chuck's movie.
Okay. And yeah, whatever Richard just said there, one of the episodes is going to be shown. So, all right. Where are we at? Now okay, that was Magnus. All right. A couple other things to mention as far as news items. Boston 9/11 Truth. You're going to be having Andrew Teese on. I believe that's this Thursday. Whoops, where am I at here? Where'd my Boston go? There it is. So if anybody wants to see, Andrew Teese is an author from the UK. He just finishing a book. Comes from an interesting perspective. He's going to be on this Thursday at 6:30 p.m. If you want an invite, the easiest way is to go to boston911truth.org, and they do have a contact page. Where did it go? It was at the top. Oh, there it is. Contact button, and that form will go to Sue. If you want an invite, she'll send you the invite.
Yeah, speaking of Sue, Sue just put a comment in the chat, and I don't know if it's because she can't speak right now, but she says Major General James Mars, June 2001 to August 2002, Commander 91st Intelligence Squadron, Fort Meade, I guess, or Fort George, Meade, Maryland. So there was a James Mars active in exactly that time period. So now I'm totally confused. Maybe there is somebody else by the name of Mars.
Susie, you want to add to that? You got your hand
No,
up?
it's not Susie. It was Susan.
Oh, Susan.
Susan.
No, I just did a quick Google search for James Mars and NORAD, and that profile came up, so I decided to just share it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Mikey can untangle that knot when he speaks. Yeah, if you can finish your story, Mikey, because everybody wanted to know what happened after.
Let's see if he got a better cell tower as he's driving.
Is he driving?
If you can unmute there, Mikey, I'll try to help you. Ask to unmute. He's out of commission. Let's go to Susie.
Hi, yeah, I just wanted to address Richard. Actually, I know in your most recent podcast that you did, you had mentioned that Roger Waters hadn't really looked at any of the evidence and that you're going to try to get him to do that before he got up there and started speaking. Just wondering how that's moving along.
Well, that's a great question. I'm not in touch with Roger. Ted is. Ted did brief him, and he didn't use any of that briefing. So I don't know what to say about his willingness to engage in being scripted or even coached.
Should we be start posting on his page?
No.
I don't know.
Yeah. He's getting a little better.
Well, I'm sure Matt Campbell would enlighten him. I would imagine on what he knows.
Well, he's had 2 years. He's had 2 years to do it.
Yeah. And you know, he's a grown man. I'm sure that if he had a real interest in, you know, all the details of how the science doesn't add up, he would, and you know, he had a degree in architecture or he studied architecture. So I'm sure he's got the capability for it. Maybe he's a big picture kind of guy. You know, maybe all he wants to do is get the message across and he doesn't maybe think that the details are quite as relevant as some of us do. So, you know,
well, maybe he'll sit and watch what we're doing on Saturday.
Well, maybe he will, but the thing is we all got to where we are by following our own inclination of what we feel is important and how we want to absorb the information. So,
and we shared this information a little bit while he's back. Two of the Pink Floyd members, Nick Mason and Roger Waters, were both architecture students at the same university. There was actually a third band member that passed away since, but he has a little bit of knowledge back there. It would be nice to get him debriefed, lock him down and show him expert speak out or something. I don't know.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. I did also want to read a comment from Patrick. If anybody can help him out. Can anybody recommend an archive where I can gather 9/11 video content? I haven't followed 9/11 for years. Recently, I looked on YouTube for many old videos because I wanted to share my knowledge, specifically all the obvious evidence regarding knowledge of the fall of the towers 1 and 2 before it happened. Also, all firsthand evidence of the bombs that went off in towers 1 and 2. Lastly, all the witnesses who died recently after the event. Anyways, much of the content is no longer available on YouTube, so I'm looking where I can to find all the video evidence. It is scattered in everywhere, and I've started a little bit watching the old documentaries. There's just a plethora of information that I've forgotten that's in there. There's so much information in those documentaries, and we have a list of that somewhere. I can get it out, the top like 20 9/11 documentaries. So we'll try to work with you on that.
but you're right. It is being scrubbed and it's getting harder and harder to find. Gene just went on a hunt for an image of the Sheraton that was widely circulated for a time. The Sheraton that was near the Pentagon that had the marks of the you could see the rain and the rust under where the cameras had been installed, and now he just spent like a long time this weekend looking for that.
I want to share this with you guys. It's a demolition happened this weekend on a building. This building has a little bit of significance for 9/11 truth. And here is the demolition. Let me get this play in. Mute.
I said rock.
Oops.
When I say rock, I mean.
Here we go. Where's my volume? Oh well. No volume, but you see the demolition. Like what was this building and what significance does it have with the 9/11? It does look similar to Building 7, but it is not. This is the Sheraton building around Pentagon in Arlington. And there were images that I saw, I can't find them right now, of the cameras that were mounted on the Sheraton pointing at the Pentagon that morning. And the days after, somebody removed the cameras and you can see the water stains where the cameras were, wires hanging out. I would love to find those images again if anybody could find them or has them.
Yeah, I've been sharing for quite a long time this little hack that we had for videos on YouTube, where the automatic setting that YouTube puts all videos under was relevance. And so if you look, even if you had the exact title of a video you were looking for, it would not give it to you until you changed the setting from relevance to any of the other options, which was either most popular or most recent, anyways, whatever. Any other setting was going to bring up the video, but you had to manually change the setting, and they have now scrubbed that.
Yeah.
You don't have the ability to circumvent the default setting. And so, yeah, the censorship continues, and the videos are out there, but they're buried 6 feet under. And
Mario Knopfel, if anybody's familiar with him, did an interview with Matt Campbell and Roger that we shared a couple weeks ago. It was taken down midstream and it went back up, somebody said, but I've looked again and now it's no longer on YouTube. So I think he got a strike for that one, but it is available on Rumble if you want to see that interview. It was pretty enlightening.
So to answer your question, Patrick, what a lot of people have been saying is, whatever videos are out there, just download them immediately to not lose them, which obviously you can't do anymore. But as you come across videos and you do find them, try to hang on to them, because they're going to be disappearing more and more every time.
You can download them. You can screen.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we're all doing that. You don't have them on a backup drive in your sock drawer. What are you doing? All right.
I've got you.
Yeah. Thank you. Susie, is your hand back up, or was that from last time? I think it was from last time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to back to Mikey P. We'll try it again. In a better area?
Yes, I am. I'm actually back at home on a laptop now rather than traveling, and you know where I live. It's a little tough.
Sounds good.
So anyways, I just texted the customer. I asked him what's the name of that guy because it's really bothering me now. But basically he was an air traffic controller on 9/11, and I had mentioned a bunch of like the anomalies of just, pure facts that we all can agree on. I mentioned World Trade Center 7. He's like, yeah, I heard about that. That is a little weird, and what else did we talk about? We talked about how what's his name? Don Hanley, the pilots for 9/11 Truth, said, you can't pull off that maneuver, or at least I couldn't, or whatever. And I mentioned that to the guy, and he gave me this look where like he knew, like, oh wow, the jig is up, like I can't bullshit this guy, but he didn't actually like say that, but I could just tell by his face, and as soon as I told him, like, yeah, like the group that I'm, a part of is going to be having this convention in New York City, and Roger Waters is going to be there. And he's like, Roger Waters, the guy from Pink Floyd. I'm like, yeah, he donated like $100,000 to this guy, Matt Campbell. Well, I went down the whole thing with him because he doesn't know anything. And he was like, wow, like, that's really cool. Like, yeah, give me the link. So I texted him the Turning the Tide link to his phone. So I feel like it's just like yet another deal of like there's people out there. It's kind of like that guy I can't remember his name, but last name Duffy, that the firefighter on the Harley
Tim
Davidson.
Duffy.
Like
Yeah.
he knows, but he won't like just come out and say it, you know?
Right. Yep.
Which is tough because if he did come out and say it, it may make others, you know, like himself, you know, give us some traction. So that's a little tough. But
Yeah.
one last thing I wanted to say was about the hiding of the videos on YouTube. I 100% have noticed what you're saying about the videos, and including that video with Rudy Dent at Times Square being increasingly hard to find. I just put in the show notes the link to one that I just personally used to pull it up, because you used to be able to pull that up like no problem. And that even that one's getting a little tougher to find. So if anybody ever wants to see that, it's a good video.
Yeah.
Right on.
But
Mikey,
yeah.
just a couple of things. First of all, Jerry put into the comments, I guess he did his own search. I don't know if you pronounce it Brigadier. General Robert K. Marr was the battle commander at Needs, Northeast Air Defense Sector on September 11th. And he died strangely on a metro track in 2002.
That was the guy.
So I think
Yeah, that's
the guy.
That's the head of NORAD Northeast Sector. Yes.
So he's Robert K. Marr.
Yeah, I knew I wasn't crazy.
Not Mars, but Marr. So
Can you put-
M-A-R-R.
Can you put the link to that article in the chat?
Yeah, how did he die?
I don't have the article. I just have Jerry's comment in the chat about the
He died
about
strangely
what he
because
found.
the train that day was electronically controlled, and it hit another train head on. Normally they're controlled by, you know, humans, you know, engineers and all that. But that day they were relying on the computer system, and two of them hit each other head on, which was definitely pretty odd. It hasn't happened since that day.
And
So
how did he die when the two trains hit?
because he was on the train.
But
Is he
him
the
and a
only
whole bunch of
person
other
who died,
people?
though?
The air
Yeah.
traffic controller guy, I was at his house. He was like, he brought it up to me. I didn't even know about it. And when he told me that, how suspicious it was, I'm like, yeah, that is definitely a little suspicious.
It's
So,
very
I mean,
suspicious because if I had to choose a single individual to call to a grand jury, it would have been him.
Interesting. I
Did
mean, I guess the
people die, or does he's the only person who died in that accident?
Sandra, what were you reading from?
okay, so just because I got a couple of things to say, I also want to give credit to Lou and to Brian Good, who also went down that same rabbit hole. So they all contributed to the information. And I guess my question is that, you know, how many other people died in that crash? You know, if
9
okay, well then yeah, definitely suspicious.
and
And
80 injuries.
it seems like a really big, you know, event to wipe out one person, but then again, who knows? Maybe that's what they had to do if it was for those reasons.
They don't care.
No,
Well, they've done
I
it
realize.
before.
I
They
realize.
brought down whole planes, whole civilian airliners.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is what you
They
want
don't
to
care.
do with that
They don't
event
care.
is try, maybe, yeah, I agree, they don't care, but you would still think, all things being equal, they'd go with the thing that has the least, you know, kind of, that makes the least kind of waves. But anyways, what I
Sandra, they
wanted
knew
to,
he was going to be on the train to go home.
okay,
It's
no,
that simple.
Yes, maybe it is. Maybe it is. I'm just trying to look at everything here.
There.
And the last thing I just wanted to say about your conversation with him, I think it's great. I mean, you have this ability to just get into conversations and pick up on little things. I'm totally with you.
Way to represent Gen Z there, brother.
As soon as I see someone mentioning anything that remotely connects to 9/11, I'll be like, oh, but you know. But what I was going to say is, rather than coming out and saying, well, you know that they couldn't have done that, and you know that this isn't true, you know, and you're lucky because he's still engaged with you, but sometimes that could put people off. So, you know, if you can form it as a question instead and say, You know, there are people who say that, you know, it's impossible to make that corkscrew turn and hit the Pentagon the way that it did and so on. You know, it makes people less defensive and it makes them think, oh, there's something I don't know and I might want to look into, right?
The only thing I wanted to add was that the lead singer of the Eagles, Don Henley, is not the leader of Pilots for 9/11 Truth. It's
No, Hanley. Hanley,
Dan
right?
Hanley. Dan
That's,
Hanley.
I think I
not
did say
Don
Hanley.
Henley.
You
Yeah.
said
you
Don.
Don Hanley.
Don Henley.
I was just
Oh,
messing.
okay. What's
Love
his
you, brother.
What's the guy from the? I thought his name was Don Hanley.
Dan Hanley.
Dan
Yep.
Hanley. Okay,
Yep.
got it.
Not
Got
Don
it.
Henley. Dan Hanley. Yeah, close.
Okay,
All right.
got it.
But maybe Don Henley supports us too. Who
They
knows?
both fly like eagles. Anyways.
I think to one last thing, I think I did say to him, I was very tiptoey around him because I really needed the money off the job, so I had to be tiptoey, but I definitely said something like, "Oh, did you know?" But to us in the group, I'm being a little more not nice about it because we all know that that's, for the exception of one or two people, know that that's, you know, not the case. So,
Right on.
all right, I'm done.
Thanks, Mikey. Dave Schlesinger, you're up.
Yeah.
Oh, you muted yourself.
Yeah.
There you go.
I just want to ask again. There are only 2 people who responded last week asking for what you considered to be the top simple, easy to prove pieces of evidence that 9/11 was a false flag. Sandra had responded, and Bird responded. What, you know, it's not just pieces of evidence, it's simple and easy to prove. Please text me 410-499-5403 or put it in the chat now, because that's really going to help with reaching out to Nobel laureates.
Very good. Thank you, David. Magnus, Mr. Norway.
Oh yeah, I'm looking for videos now, David. Plus, Gene, are you have you opened the table yet?
Yep, table, I think, yeah.
Oh shit. Hey, the stuff I have in the chat are very short. Are we able to see it?
Sure. It's been a while since we showed some of your videos. Let's do that.
Yeah,
What's this one you have?
14 seconds into the demolition.
Which one am I going to? Because you have one labeled soap opera. Not that one?
It should be one about everything here I wrote 14 seconds into the demolition video.
Oh, here we go. Okay, 14 seconds into this one.
Thank you.
Whoops. Hang on, I got to play the ad. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, come on. It's in Norway. That's hilarious. Oh, wait. No, that's you. Sorry. There we go. 14. All right.
That looks like also a Building 7 style demolition.
Yep, I would agree. All right. Anything else?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I used to watch a soap opera, a remix of Dallas, which we have a Norwegian remix of that started in 1998 and ended in 2017. So just play a few seconds of that, Gene. Thank you.
I'm not sure what that is, but okay.
That's a
Hey,
soap
how you doing?
opera.
Good to hear from you.
It's a dream about his father's plane crashing into a
Real
building.
good.
And
Yeah, the thing I wanted to raise
Whoops.
about life.
Hang on. I had to mute David. All right. And then you have
a
one
video under that one, and that is
2002.
yeah, the last video was in 1998, and this is 2002.
Cover the fields for extra noon.
Extra Nord.
Oh, interesting. A demolition. And
Yeah,
last
thank
one,
you.
2017.
Yeah. We don't. Yeah, just play the ending of that video.
Just the ending of this one. Let's go to this.
Yeah,
All
because
right.
it's just slamming a second plane into the building.
And this came out recently in Norway? Oh, 10 years ago.
Yeah, and
Oh, boy.
I sent you a picture in the chat. Are you able to open that too?
All right. Let me see if I could do this. I don't know why. Oh, wow, it showed. I don't know why Carl's get hard, but yeah, okay. When terrorists attacked the World Trade Center on 9/11, they unleashed more than just a random death and destruction. They set loose fear that front lines of war are no longer oceans away, right around the corner. Subsequent attacks have heightened that fear. The brightest minds are working to develop and deploy new technologies that can hopefully stop terrorists. Huh.
Yeah, they ruined a 17 long soap opera with that 9/11 thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep, thank you. Let's see. I think now is a good enough time for me to share what I wanted to share. And this was the Q&A section. Oh, come on, mouse. It's the Q&A section of the Crime Scene to Courtroom, episode 6, where a lot of times I hear people ask, and geez, I'm stepping on my toes here. What are we going to do about the perpetrators? When are we going to start naming names? When are these people going to be brought to court? And Mick, I think, did a great job answering this. It's not just, and people have commented since when I posted this on social media, and people are like, watch this video, and they're naming names here, and Bolin names names. And yes, we understand that there's a lot of people naming names, but what do we do about getting them into a courtroom with enough evidence to pin it on them? And that's what he's addressing here. Here we go.
Very own Jean Larotonda on StreamYard.
Oh.
Many people ask when we're going to start naming names. Can Mick elaborate on the strategy to identify the perpetrators?
There we go.
Thanks, Jean.
We got 2 hours left, Mick, so make it short.
Yeah, I've got about 1 minute left. So that's a challenging question, which the question asker knows. The way the Lawyers Committee addressed that initially in our petition to the U.S. Attorney to give to the grand jury back in 2018 was we provided all the information we had that spoke to the question of who might have been responsible or who might have material information. And we gave that information unredacted to the U.S. Attorney. We did make a redacted version available on our website. However, even then, even in the unredacted version, we weren't prepared to say we're certain who did crime X, Y, or Z. Those are still under investigation by most of us in the movement, including the Lawyers Committee and myself and the new group. So that's preparing the report for Congress. So my suggestion to folks as an attorney is if you have specific evidence that you're convinced ties a particular perpetrator to some aspect of the 9/11 crimes, get it to law enforcement. Unless you think that evidence is truly dispositive, meaning no other explanation other than this person is guilty, I suggest you provide it confidentially to law enforcement. You could probably give it to a lawyer with an agreement of confidentiality to further investigate. You run the risk if you name a name publicly prematurely before you have dispositive evidence which actually proves that person committed the crime or contributed to the crime. You run the risk of being sued for defamation. Even if you happen to be correct about a particular person having responsibility for a particular crime, if you make that allegation publicly and you're sued for defamation, the fact that you're correct will not be a complete legal defense. You're going to have to prove that you're correct. Sometimes, unfortunately, there's a difference between being right and being provably right. So I would suggest that all evidence on who may have contributed to the crimes, the whodunit portion, be provided to law enforcement, be provided to maybe lawyers in the movement confidentially, I would caution against making those allegations public on anything that you're not completely convinced you can prove in a court of law to protect yourself, but also to protect the movement. It doesn't help the movement for those of us, spending our limited personal resources trying to move this issue forward, which many of us have done. I'm sorry to say we're not as well funded as some people might think. Most of the work I've done has been unfunded, but we can't afford to be tied up in a defamation lawsuit while we're trying to also finish the investigation and maybe bring civil lawsuits. That's too much to expect of a public interest lawyer or a nonprofit or even our entire coalition. We need to be strategic. So my answer is we need to move that evidence forward. We need to get to the point where we can actually name those names and prove them. Until then, be cautious about who you provide an allegation about to protect yourself, protect the movement. But, share the evidence you have. Let's get it out there, but in the right forum at the right time.
I think
This is from our very own.
Whoops, that was a great answer on him. We got to be careful. Candace Owens is dodging that whole thing right now. She's getting sued left and right for defamation, but I think she's got her evidence. But that's a whole other rabbit hole that we want to go down to, that we don't want to go down right now. So I think the best hope is getting people in a court of law and then subpoenaing people, as I said previously, and you get those little guys that throw other bigger fish under the bus, and we start there. But I have some hands up. David, let me go on to these other hands because I think they were directly related to what I just shared, and then I'll come back to you. Carl, go ahead.
Well, there are names that can be named without any risk of being sued for defamation, and those are public figures and how they discharge their duties as public officials. Number one being Michael Chertoff, who is head of the criminal division for DOJ, was part of the cover-up by allowing suspects to go back to Israel. Hundreds of spies who were rounded up, including the dancing Israelis, which one thing very interesting about them, when the police officer who stopped them and detained them, the first words out of one of their mouths was, we're not your problem. Our problem is the same. The problem is the Palestinians. So interesting they didn't say the Muslims, the radical Islam. It was the Palestinians.
Yeah.
And of course, but Berlin in the opening chapters of Solving 9/11 points out that 9/11 fell at exactly the moment where Israel was tired of playing the game of seeming to go along with the two-state solution, the Oslo Accords and all that. And it immediately ended with 9/11. I mean, they began to destroy things in Gaza soon after 9/11 just because no one was going to tell them to stop. So it's about the Palestinians, and it still is today. But Michael Chertoff is a name that can be named without, what if Michael Chertoff sues me, I'd be happy to, all those depositions would be a lot of fun.
Right on. Thank you, sir. Ross?
Yeah, so what I was going to say is related to this and other things. What I do is a strategy, because I will be naming the names in some interviews that I'm doing for the anniversary. And however, I'm not going to be naming them literally. There will be code names, and the code name should be something obviously that people can recognize, but you also want to qualify it by the fact that you want to say that it's speculation. It's based on
name some of your funny ones for like
okay.
Kissinger.
They're good ones. I've got them kind of perfected now because I don't say the full name. Now I just say the first abbreviation of the first name, and then the last name is the funny part. So you have H bare naked. E bare naked. And you have no.
Put you on the spot. Sorry.
It's okay. And you have H kissed a messenger. Kissed a messenger. H kissed a messenger. E at bare naked. And D rock and feathers. I also like rock and flowers. And he's more rock and flowers.
Yeah, right.
in the way he behaved and the way his approach was. And then, of course, you have H.W. Bush and Weeds. So we know who Bush and Weeds is, and H.W. gives you a good idea too, which ones. And then, but you have to qualify it by saying, it's pure speculation. It's based on informed speculation. So you're not going to be making the definitive statement. These are the ones. It's just that people want to know a story, a narrative that can make sense. And so
allegedly,
allegedly.
And Candace uses that word a lot now. She pronounces it really succinctly too. Allegedly.
Because the irrational story out there now is the official story.
Yes.
That's the irrational one. So, okay, so what's the rational one? So if you want to start naming names on the rational one, you could get into trouble if you name them literally and you say, I know it's this. It's looking for, another narrative that makes sense, and maybe more than one, obviously. So we know that Carl's got, we have Bolin has a lot to say on that, and all those things are good for people to know about. So that's the kind of thing I'll be communicating there. I also want to say back to this archive issue. I have my own archive. It's about 2 or 3 terabytes, not that much. I imagine somebody like Gene has about 5 or 10 terabytes minimum or more. And of course, Richard Gage must have 200 terabytes or something. And that's really important for me because, I spent a lot of time on this year getting money together in a foreign currency to purchase land for the dedicated World Truth Center. What's it going to be about? It's going to be about a lot of things. And one of the main things is the archival information coming from all of us from the truth movement. So, that information is going to be important, especially going forward. And so we can't lose sight of that. I lost a computer that was like my go-to computer. And it really was a setback. And I know it's happened to Gene, and I know, I've been doing backups. I do that, but I got so busy, I neglected a few of them. And then it just started to get to me, like I got really nervous about my life because how dependent I am on that machine for what I'm doing. So anyway, and that machine is back, by the way. It's brand new. They refurbished it. And I'll show you one quick photo of a project that working with Mayor Mandani. I'm around him in the peripheral, and it's a little late for this year, but too bad, but I was busy with the other things. Let me show you these videos. I'm going to share my screen if that's okay. Not a video.
Yeah, give me 1 second to turn that on. Post, advance, share. All right, you're good.
Okay, so this is just the first pass at one photograph. I'm going to have a few. And I had mentioned to you that we would have, hold on a second, I'll maximize that. This area in Tribeca, right outside 14th Street, the Holland Tunnel exit, you see that circle there, and the park. And that is in Tribeca, so it's going to be the Twin Towers Tribeca, is what I've told the Mandani people. And that can be, I'm seeing it as observation towers, for beautiful views. I mean, a lot of the views in New York City have been destroyed recently, of the Empire State Building and other big buildings. This neighborhood in Tribeca gives you pretty much a view of all the stuff in New Jersey, all the uptown New York, of course, the ground zero area now as it is today. And and then I want to see dry seed storage in a concrete core running through the center of it. And it's basically just staircases running up. And that towers you're seeing there are 130 some feet tall. It's basically a 20 by 20 foot footprint. And that area is totally empty now, other than those trees that you see there. And the ground is solid underneath. And so I'm excited to get this image in front of them. I am in touch with them. And this is just one of the images of many different, the other big project, the World Truth Center down in another country. And I'll be showing that in future. So that's it for, I don't want to say this week. Okay.
Right on. And just so Ross is coming up with a scale model of the towers. There's also, as I understand it, in Chicago in the Loop District, I think is what it was. They're actually looking to create replicas, like life-size replicas of the towers.
No. Yeah, but mine are not. Don't use that wrong word there. You can't ever say model. You can't say collapse, and you can't say model. It's a building. It's going to have a building permit. It's going to have an occupancy rating, and people are going to go inside and they're going to use it.
All right.
Never say model, never say memorial. Okay.
All right.
And they'll
Thank you.
probably be built and demolished many times, I think, in human history, the Twin Towers. They're going to be built, they're going to be demolished, they're going to be built, they're going to be demolished. Many thousands of years. Okay.
Right on. Thank you. I'm going to get to the last hands and we're going to go around the room because I'm getting pressed for time. We go back to David.
Yes, I wanted to say about the fellow who died in the train wreck. My understanding is that the person who was in charge of needs that day, that was the first day that he was in charge of needs. He was not normally the person in charge of needs. I don't know if that's the same person.
No, I don't. That's not correct. I
Okay.
think yeah, that's not correct. I think you're probably thinking about the guy who was in charge of the National Military Command Center. It was his first day
Yes.
at the Pentagon.
Okay. Yep. Very good.
There were a few people that were like their first week on the job there, but yeah, I don't know the extensive list on that.
Was it also the head of Stratosec or Strata?
No, I don't know about that one. Anyways, I'm gonna start speculating. Thank you, David. Barbara?
Yeah, well, just responding first to what Dave just said. One of the main reasons that so many people were so-called first day on the job is because the principals were doing the exercises on purpose. That's the modus operandi of how they pulled off the attacks and were able to say afterwards that, oh, we just didn't know, the principals couldn't find them, etc. Okay, so just to follow up on the comments about Michael Chertoff, I'm trying to figure out how to put this into the chat, but I'm not able to put it in. So I'm just going to tell everybody. How many people know that Michael Chertoff was paid for 5 years as a secret advisor to the Supreme Court of the United States on what they should and shouldn't do about 9/11?
I did not know that.
So go to I'm trying to put it in the chat. I may not succeed, but I just Googled it. And if you Google Politico and you put in the Supreme Court has been paying Michael Chertoff for 5 years. Okay, and it will come up, and it's a long article, and it's one of many that came out. I'm looking for the date of the article, 2023. However, I'm not certain about the dates. I'd have to go down and read it again. Anyway, I think that's important to know.
Yeah, also, can I quickly interject about Chertoff? Also, I've heard that his mother was a very high level Mossad agent. His mother.
Yes, and his father was an Orthodox rabbi, which is extremely important.
Yeah,
his mother was a founding member of Mossad.
Yes. Very good.
I'm Jerry put in the comments that the Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA National Operations Manager, Ben Sliney, it was his very first day on the job, September 11th.
That's
I
correct.
don't know if that, yeah, okay.
Thank you, Jetty.
Along with many other people. So my last thing is, Sandra, please help. I have Googled Robert Marr, former head of NORAD Northeast Sector, dies in subway crash, and I can't find anything on Google.
Okay.
What was it you were reading? Tell me what to Google.
Well, I was just reading the comments that Jerry, Brian, and Lou put in there when they researched it. So
You
I'll
mean
see
on
if there's
chat? In chat?
in the chat, yeah.
Well, see, I don't see that in the chat. That's my problem. Okay.
I'll try to send to the comments.
All right.
I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Barb. And last hand, and we're gonna go around the room. Jack.
I'm sorry, I pressed the button a number of times. It finally came up.
All good.
I want to back up what David said. I think we need to develop the image that we present to the public. And one of those things is definitely the things that are absolutely proven and can't be denied. Because just dealing with my family and friends, they blah blah blah, but they don't believe it, and they something they heard on Fox News, and we need to actually have a presentation to the world of things that cannot be denied. And then the other thing is that I always get depressed when I watch these demolition videos, because I used to work with homeless people in Cambridge, and they have destroyed tens of thousands of beautiful apartments, just tearing them down, blowing them up to please some rich person, and it's a sign of corruption. Thanks.
Thank you, Jack. All right. Since I got you, Jack, anything other else for the wrapping up?
I had one other thing, but it slipped my mind. Sorry.
Well, maybe we'll get you by the end here. We'll come back.
Okay.
Going around the room, Mike Cook, anything for the group? After you took a drink.
I'm unmuted.
Yes.
Yay. I can speak. Everybody get your word out to your local fire departments. Most of them are in unions, but you can also go there in person. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what we're advised to do by our firefighters who are behind us. Yeah.
Get
out there.
Thank you. Dave Schlesinger, anything for the group?
Nothing new. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, David. Mr. Podcast, sorry I don't have your name, but thank you for joining. I don't think I've ever seen you before. Oh, he just moved in the chair. There you are. Anything for the group? Hello. You're muted. He's trying.
There we go. Sorry, I am a techno boob. I have a partner, and his name is Captain Kevin LaFond. He's our technical specialty director. We're starting up a podcast called Centrist Radicals. I don't want to take away from y'all's meeting today, but we hopefully are going to be putting together with Susie. Everybody knows Susie, right? Susie.
Oh, yeah.
To do an interview to get her out and your organization. We're even kicking the to maybe go up to New York and hang out with you guys for 3-4 days. And centristradicals.com, and when we start doing we've done a couple podcasts. We're brand new guys, so we're very ground floor, so bear with us.
Yep.
But I want to just share with you guys, and I'll be 30 seconds or less because you got other people here. We're going to occupy a very unique space on the internet because most everybody's going to steer you to the left or steer you to the right. Well, we're called the centrist radicals for a good reason. I'm kind of have an extensive political background, history. I'm a social scientist. I'm not going to go through my bio. If you'll go to our website, you can pull up Captain Kevin LaFond's bio and my bio to get an update of who we are, and do that on y'all's time, not on this podcast. But just want to let you know that as an American whose family's been here since the 1600s, and my parents are both buried at Arlington National, I'm very concerned that our government is just lying to us almost about everything nowadays. I don't have a lot of faith in anything the government says. And I think that there's a lot of insider trading going on. And one of the things, the 9/11 catastrophe, where thousands of people were killed and tens of thousands or more were wounded for the rest of their lives. It's a national disgrace that people haven't been brought to justice or in prison for this. 25 years later, really? Is that we have to make a big deal about this. We have to fix our country. So what we're about is, Kevin's a national leader in search and rescue volunteer missions around the country. He started out with Cajun Navy. If ever you guys have heard of the Cajun Navy, again, check his bio out. It's self-explanatory. And my bio is on there too, self-explanatory. And we're going to then promote getting all the podcasters and common everyday people who want to use their abilities to type or to write or to express themselves. Yeah, that's me with wearing my fake mask properly there. There you go. That's Captain Kev with a hat, and I'm the old guy on the right there.
Nice.
And we're going to occupy a very unique space where we're going to pull together all races, all religions, all sexes, all aliens from other foreign planets. And I'm kidding about aliens. It's a distraction. So we want to finally bring our country together, everybody, and unite and bring everybody together, because we want to do a search and rescue for the soul of America and bring us all back together again. So if we get 100, 200, 500 podcasters in under one roof, who are all moving in the right direction, such as
Yeah.
let's find honesty and integrity in our government. Holy cow, let's vote them all out.
Right on.
Democrats, Republicans, we're apolitical. We think they're all lying, crooked, internal, self-dealing criminals. I call them criminals and traitors. I don't care. I'm an old dying man, and I don't care. They can come after me all they want.
Yep.
I have a story to tell, and I think America is ready to listen to your stories and our stories and everybody's stories. It's time, guys, because if we don't do it now, in 2 years with flock cameras and data centers, we're done. As a country, we're done. We're foreign invaded and we're over. We're done. Go to our website, check us out. I hope we can be a big part of your movement. And all I can say is God bless y'all and for what you do. And I know it's hard hurting cats. I watched your show very carefully today, my first time here.
Thank you.
And it's not easy. I get it, but we can do this. We can pull this off. So please go to centristradicals.com, send our links out there. We're going to send your links out. We're going to get Miss Susie on board here and do a great, I think we got 5 or 6 or 7 interviews with her. It's going to be a long one.
Nice.
But what we want is the facts. We don't want to go into speculation. We want facts.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we're going to focus on in the first show is tell us the truth. Give us the facts that immutable. They're you can't argue them. And let's get to the bottom of the facts. And then we're going to help promote the strategies that are going to get us the truth. And this could be lawsuits, depositions, providing citizen grand juries. We only got 7 states in the United States that have actually citizen grand juries. We need all 50 states. So we need state legislatures to start pushing that agenda. And this is what we're going to do, guys. We're going to take our country back. Thanks for having me on. I wasn't ready to speak to y'all tonight, but thanks for letting me be here.
Rob, thank you for saying that. Thank you for being here. Everyone check out centristradicals.com. Very well said. Thank you, sir.
I just want to say that it's definitely an idea whose time has come. You know, it's everybody is tired of the divide and everybody wants to find the middle ground. They're realizing it's not left and right. It's us down here and them up there. And the more people, you know, come to grips with that and to terms with it, the faster we can get out of where we are.
Can I just mention one last thing? There's a thing called the Nolan chart. It came out 20, 30 years ago. I have remodified it and updated it to 2026. It's on our site on the first page. If everybody here would take the Nolan chart test, it's free. If you're worried about getting database, you're already databased by just giving a thumbs up to kitten and cat and food and, you know, thumbs up on Facebook. Everybody's databased already. Okay. Don't worry about being databased.
Yeah.
Take the test. It takes 30 seconds. It's like 30, maybe 5 minutes. It's about, 20 questions, maybe 4 or 5 minutes. And the Nolan chart, there you go, right there. It's going to show your little red dot where you sit, because if you look at the x-axis and the y-axis, America's not talking about the y-axis. The y-axis up top is freedom, liberty, leave me alone, less wars. I don't want any wars. I think wars, my whole family's fought for this country. My parents are, again, buried at Arlington National. We don't need any more wars.
Yep.
They're stupid. They don't accomplish anything except insider trading, which I forgot that point before. I want to find out more about the insider trading that was going on around the World Trade Center disaster.
Yep.
A lot of people got rich on this, and we want names, and we're going to hunt them down, and we're going to make sure we find a way to get them prosecuted and thrown in prison, for God's sake.
Oh, well, the names, they have the names. The only reason they didn't go after the names is because they looked into it, and the names in question had nothing to do with al-Qaeda. So why look into them?
Well, maybe that's what we ought to be asking certain congressmen who are supposedly going to back this thing up. And I always look at APAC trade tracker.
Of course.
Did they take money from a foreign little country in a sandbox somewhere in the Middle East, right? And I'm not going to go there on this show.
I got to move on, but
okay.
Thank you.
Last thing, look at the y-axis at the bottom is fascism, which is Benito Mussolini said fascism is corporatism. What are we in this country today? I hate to say it, guys. We're fascists, okay? So we're going to unite our country. Take the little test. You're going to find most of America's at the very top 20% of that chart, of the Nolan chart. And I think everybody's going to be pleasantly surprised. We all just want to be left alone, have a decent life, raise our families, and just have a just society. With that,
Can I ask,
yes, ma'am.
What
is that the same thing?
What is the name of podcast there?
CentristRadicals.com.
I got that. What is your name?
My name, I am Rob Harrington. Rocket Rob is a nickname from my 40 years in the automotive industry, where I was a trainer and an author about sales process manipulation. I'm an
You
expert.
don't have to give me a resume. I just wanted your name.
I'm filling every crack I can get here, guys.
I got
I just quick question. Is that the same thing as the political compass?
Probably
It is, except there's a dozen or so variations of the thing, and it depends on who published it and why they published it.
Okay, just wanted to know.
Is
Thank
it
you.
centrist radical or centrist radicals plural?
Centrist radicals plural, and then I'm cranky old patriot on YouTube. There, I've done enough self-pitching, guys. Thanks for the time.
Thank you. Yep.
Yeah.
It is like herding cats, but that was well said. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to shut up now. Back to you.
You're good. You're
No,
good.
thanks for being here.
I got some hands up from that. We're trying to wrap up, guys. So keep this.
If your hand is up, then that's your wrap in the room.
So go back to Jack.
Yes, two things that I forgot. The second one is the most important, so let me finish. The first one is that I bought a device at Micro Center that you put 2 hard drives in, or you can put 1 hard drive in and connect it somehow to the computer, and it completely duplicates the hard drive. And I think we should get into that. Some people have really, really good videos, and they need to be duplicated. Some stuff that was on YouTube in the past is gone now. Some really good stuff. And I'm sure there'll be a lot more of that now. And the second thing is, this is bad news for some of our members, but what's his name? The Secretary of State
Howard
announced
Marco Rubio.
That this week that they are going to be seizing visas and green cards from anyone who criticizes Israel. I swear to you, that's what he said, and I sent it around to the people who I have emails for, including Eugene and Sandra. So this is a real problem because some of our members are, from other countries. So
Let's keep it that simple. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Back to Carl. Anything for the group? Wrap it up.
Yes, two things. I don't know if there's a 4-minute video I've put into chat, and my question concerning that is, at the conference, is there going to be any attention given to how the media has refused to report on the World Trade Center 7 as an anomaly in particular? And I've actually have all the probably best footage of CNN personalities refusing to go there, and I've redacted and expanded at the same time the Dan Rather video to include a brief clip of Jake Tapper, also a clip of Trump saying he would tell us who brought down the Trade Center once he was elected back in 2016. All of it in context. And it's been a while since that's been, it hasn't been shown in this format. And if you're willing to show it, I'd like that. But the main thing I want to point out is that Ron Johnson has actually already proven by his own actions who the they of 9/11 was, and would include Zionist, Mossad, Jewish interests. And the means by which he proved that is when I spoke with him at the last year's conference in D.C. And just a week before, he'd been on Weinstein's podcast saying, hey, if that guy's out there who came by my office back in June, I don't have any way to contact him. Please, contact me. So when I went up to discuss that with him, he said, well, we can't have anything to do with you because of your social media posts, which the only social media posts he or his staff could object with are those concerning Zionism and related interests. So he actually, with Brett Weinstein on the podcast they did together, they sought to erase the history of my having been interviewed by his staff and him having met me and knowing how to get in contact with me as a secondary 9/11 responder who sifted rubble, and he proves who he is beholden to and who doesn't want to be brought up as the they of 9/11. So thanks, and I hope you'll show that video.
Yeah, this is the part where we go. You guys have been doing this for 5 years now. This is the part.
Oh, this is my this was
show.
my last. This is my last.
Yeah.
I'm
And I
done.
appreciate that. So let me finish what I'm saying there. You don't really like people interrupting you either, Carl. This is the part in the show where with 30 seconds to takeaways from the show or anything you want to say, 30 seconds. This is not an exception for Rob, and thank you, Rob, for being here. But please try to keep it short here. I do not have time to show those videos. Maybe we can do that next week, Carl. Thank you. Jane Milliken, anything for the group wrapping up?
Sandra once mentioned doing the around the room at the beginning rather than at the end because it might bring out things earlier.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. Thank you. Jane, anything for the group wrapping up? Herding cats.
Oh, thank you. No, I continue to be so interested in all the dedication and deep dive into all of this that so many of you are doing, and that I'm just trying to keep abreast of it. Not so much able to be an organizer or whatever. Anyway, that's fine. Thank you. I love all of your input.
Thank you, Jane. Good to see you. Ross, any last words?
Yeah, and I'll follow up since Rocket Rob got to say something, but I'll be 30 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a group of people I call the hardcore truthers. It's a little bit different than what most of the people consider as truthers, and that's because, it has nothing to do with truth, this type of hardcore truth, nothing to do with firefighters, nothing to do with police, first responders, bankers' family members, victims of 9/11, politicians. It has nothing to do with lawyers, judges, payrolled opposition people, celebrities. It has nothing to do with celebrities, or those that support them, or those who define their success in US dollar terms. So basically, it's a group of hardcore truthers. It's about everyone else but those people. And there's some other people too on that list. Military, it's not about any military people. It's not about corporations or religions. It's not about Nobel laureates. It's about everybody else. And so I think it's a big group of people, and it's a little bit more hardcore. So we're perfectly happy to offend anybody. Okay, thanks. Good night.
The big club. Thank you, Ross. Patrick, good to see you. I think you're a first timer too. Thank you for being here. Any words for the group wrapping up? You come off mute.
No, thanks. I was last part of this in 2011 or 2012. I went to a DC conference, and it was great. But then I've been out of it for a while, so it's great to tune back in. Thank you.
Right on. Thank you.
Are you still in DC?
Oh, now I'm in Hawaii.
Oh,
nice.
Okay. Well, we do have a friend in Hawaii who is very active.
Maybe
if you're looking for someone to connect with.
Yeah, Kale Little Chief's very prominent there, and who else is the other? Delorier.
Paul Delorier.
Delorier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True. There's two very high level activists there. If you're interested in reaching out to
thanks. I plan on tuning in moving forward.
Gotcha.
Right. Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.
Magnus, anything for the group?
Just have a great week and great work, and thank you for everything, and see you next time.
Aye. Thank you, Mr. Norway. 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Let's see. Susan, anything for the group?
Yeah, just come and join us on Boston 9/11 Truth on Thursday. And I just want to reiterate, Boston 9/11 Truth talks about 9/11. No matter what your ideas are about 9/11, we just ask you to be civil to one another. If you're presenting something that is contrary to the official story, we have an open floor for you. We do not censor. We believe censorship is contrary to truth. And in that vein, we're open to any speakers. And we did invite Judy Wood. And she responded with conditions that we cannot meet. So that's not going to happen. And found it rather interesting. She made conditions that, a group like ours cannot meet.
Yeah, that's wild because you guys are pretty open. That's wild.
Yeah. So she really it revealed that she really only wants to talk to people who already believe what she believes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Good way to put
So-
it. If you don't have anything nice, don't say it at all. Good way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
So,
good.
yeah, we're not going to vet all our members to see where they stand and if they've read a particular book before they can join or anything like that. We're just not going to do that. We're an
Yep.
open group and inclusive, not exclusive.
Very good.
Yeah, say that you're afraid of being questioned without saying it.
And then again, this Thursday, 6:30 p.m., Andrew Teese, author, will be on the show, 6:30. So send her an invite, boston11truth.org, click the contact form. Thank you, Sue.
And also suggestions for future speakers. I'd love to hear from you.
Right on. Barbara. You're not muted, but I don't hear you.
Okay.
There you
No,
go.
I think that's everything. Just everybody keep up your spirit and please help us reach out, your organizations individually, Facebook, X, whatever. Please help us get people in the larger New York, Northeast, East Coast area to come to the website, turningthetide911.org, and purchase tickets in advance. We're in great need of that.
Aye. And I was too slow on the screen share, but I'm pausing right now to get that. There it is. Turningthetide911.org. Check it out, please. And all the speakers, again, are on the event details page and what day they're speaking. You can see all that there. So thank you, Barb. Richard, anything for the group?
Technically, not all the speakers. Willie Rodriguez still needs to be added, etc.
Aye. Thank you. And Richard.
Good. All good. Thanks for being here, everybody.
Thank you, Richard. I'm losing my place.
Thank you.
Huh?
Thank you so much. Sorry. Good morning, everybody. Sorry. I'm gonna do it.
What is going on? Hang on a second. Let's go to Lou. Lou, anything for the group?
Yes. I see myself, I'm a retired guidance counselor, so I see myself as trying to connect people, like-minded people, and gain consensus on issues. And so I wanted to tell you that I received notice from Diane Sayre, the Schiller Institute and the LaRouche organization.com presidential candidate in 2028, who is supported by Jose Vega, who's running in a district there in Brooklyn. He says it's the poorest district in the nation, but he's going door to door, and he is running. I think he beat Torres, Richie Torres, who is probably an APAC recipient, is the current incumbent, and Jose Vega. We need to support him in New York. And I just wanted to tell you that Diane Sayre and the LaRouche organization said they will have a representative at the Turning the Tide conference, where I'm looking forward to being there. I'm going to be bringing my guitar. And I do a 2-minute, 2-hour, I can do a 2-hour, what I call music therapy presentation. So Susan Sherpa, and I'd be glad to speak at length. So great podcast today. And thanks so much.
Thank you, Lou. And I just shared a screenshot of Diane Sayre at the last Turning the Tide event last year in DC, speaking to Niels Harrit. She's listening in. Very powerful lady. Thank you for bringing that up.
And Lou, it would be great to have some music out on the courtyard. There'll be hundreds of people because there's nowhere else to go. There's 3 blocks to the nearest restaurant. There's a cafe, but everybody will be hanging out outside in the courtyard.
You could
background music. I'm good at bringing background music, and some people listen, some won't. I'll open my guitar case for tips and enjoy the time busking. Thank you so much, Richard.
Yeah, you bet. Just try not to give any lectures in the theater like you did last year. That was disruptive.
You can corner
Well,
them. You
that
can
was
corner
good
them in the
trouble. I
pad.
looked at
Oh,
I looked
my
at
gosh,
it
I
as
can't
good
get my
trouble,
punchline
Richard.
out.
Good trouble. Go ahead.
I
Sorry,
can't hear you,
I'm out
Lou.
of
Go
here.
ahead. I didn't hear you. What?
There's good trouble. There's a thing called good trouble, Richard. You've heard that phrase, good trouble?
Yeah, I just disagree, though.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll
Out
agree
on
to
the
disagree without
out
being
on the-
disagreeable.
Out on the patio, you can corner them for scores. Four score and 7 years. Man, that totally ruined the punchline. Anyways, thank you, Lou. He's our in-house Abe Lincoln.
Yeah, and
Go ahead. Everybody's interrupting me now. I'm giving up.
Go ahead.
No, I'm moving on. Go ahead.
Your in-house. I was gonna say that he's got pipes like you, so make sure that people can still hear each other talk, because they're gonna be talking on the terrace.
Let's do a sing along. This land is your land.
All right, now I gotta move on. Thank you. Deb, anything for the group? Can we get through this? Maybe Deb Lee's not there. Al, anything for the group?
Yeah, a couple of things. Correct me if I'm wrong, but was Barry Zwicker the guy that originally pointed to Mars as a suspect in the 9/11 scenario? I don't know where I got that thought, but anyway, that was came to mind when you were talking about him.
I don't believe so. I believe it was myself.
Was who?
I believe it was myself. I am the source for that
Oh.
in Michael Rupert's book, Crossing the Rubicon.
Okay, well, I know it was in the back of my mind, but anyway, I'm looking for a photographer to film the banner over Boston, and I tried to get the guy that did it the last time, and I can't find his number or his email, and so worst case scenario, Gene, you still have the video from the time before. I haven't been able to locate it, and it may be that I'll have to use that as far as having it shown on the internet. There you go, right there. Yep. I don't know
Yeah,
if
I'll
it
send
makes
you.
sense.
I'll put this in the link in the chat right now.
Okay,
Boston aerial banner. And
That makes
there it is.
suffice, so I don't have to pay the guy another
Yeah,
$250. Yeah.
Yep. I'll actually I'll just download this and send you a copy. It'll probably be easier for you to work with.
Wonderful. Yeah, that
So
works. Okay.
if anybody does know any photographers or videographers in the Boston area, help Al out, get a hold of us and we'll get it to him. But yeah, they flew this banner a couple years ago, 20th anniversary. And yeah, it was a success.
Very
All
cool.
right. Thank you, Al.
All right. Great job for everybody, and look forward to another interesting meeting.
Aye. Thank you. Brian Good, anything for the group? Not there. Sean Nagel?
I got none.
Thank you. Susie, Bonham Craig.
Yes, hi. I wanted to address Al as well. You could probably do gigs on Craigslist to get some amateur videographers for like $100. Just a suggestion. But if this suffices, that's fine. I also don't have to take any time introducing Rob. He grabbed the spotlight pretty well. But I am just want to let you know that, in collaborating with him and getting a lot of podcasters together sounds like a great idea to expand the movement with the focus on, centrists and not, political issues. But yeah, thanks for welcoming him. And I look forward to seeing everybody in September.
Right on. Thank you.
Okay.
Let's see. Where am I at? Jetty, anything for the group?
Yeah. I think the Boston plane is a hologram. And on your Pentagon videos that we're looking for, have a look at this guy's channel. Some of the I don't like all of his videos, but he's got videos from like 14 years ago. Some of them are the DoubleTree Hotel and stuff around. Do a search from Pentagon on it. It might have those ones you were looking for. But yeah, the Boston plane is a hologram.
Okay.
But I replied to you in the chat. Gene was looking for a specific picture.
Yeah, I'm looking
but
for the pictures somebody had taken of like the parapet walls of the Sheraton where you could see where the cameras used to be. You could see the water stains and the wires ripped out. And I just got to find those again.
But they might be in the videos.
They could be. Yeah. Check it out. Thank you, Jetty. Where am I at? Sheila, anything for the group? Thanks for being here. If not, it's all good. I'll try to ask you to unmute. And
JB left a message saying he's micless.
JB's micless. So anybody that was muted that couldn't speak, or anybody else that I missed, speak now. Hearing nothing, I'll go to Sandra. Anything for the group, Sandra?
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
All right, I got two quick things that I wanted to share, and two quick little memes I put out there I thought were kind of humorous. Everyone's aware of Erica Kirk. I don't know if anybody in here thinks she's authentic. I don't find her to be authentic. There's this very cringy picture of her looking at Charlie Kirk's mic.
Bloodstained mic.
And it's so cringy, and it reminded me of somebody else, and that would be Larry Silverstein. The same kind of cringe, that same vibe, different day. Like they're just super sketchy people. And also, I wanted to share, I've been following Aaron Rodgers for a while. He came to Pittsburgh as a quarterback, and you may or may not have seen him just throw Anthony Fauci under the bus, calling him a coward, and he's getting all kind of backlash in Pittsburgh for it. But I want to remind people that back in the day, he was talking to one of his players, Deshaun Kaiser, on a former team, and came out and said that Aaron asked me if I believed in 9/11 and that you should read up on that. And we flew aerial banners over MetLife Stadium a couple years ago, and I might be going to a game here soon, but I would love for Aaron in this last year that he's probably going to be playing to come out and speak, come out of the closet officially on 9/11. So we'll just keep our fingers crossed there. Love him or hate him, he's speaking some truth. So hats off to him on that. And that's all I had. So thank you guys for being here. Good conversation. Have a good evening and a great week, and let's talk next time.
Have a great week, guys. And look
Thanks,
out for
guys.
that video.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Good night.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.